America's greatest hero once became America's greatest traitor. Welcome to Histoire et Mystère. Today's story, America's greatest betrayal. Don't miss it. History is written by the victors, but it is haunted by the ghosts of those who turned their backs on the cause. In the late 1770s, the American Revolution was a flickering candle in a violent wind. And one man was its strongest shield, Benedict Arnold. He was George Washington's favorite general, a man of iron will and legendary courage on the battlefield. At the Battle of Saratoga, Arnold rode into the heart of the British lines, his leg shattered by a musket ball, yet he refused to retreat. That single victory brought the French into the war and arguably saved the United States from an early death. But while his soldiers cheered his name, Arnold's heart was beginning to rot with a bitter, silent resentment. He felt overlooked by the Continental Congress, watching as men with half his talent were promoted over him. He was drowning in debt, living a life of luxury he couldn't afford to impress his beautiful, young, loyalist-leaning wife, Peggy Shippen. In the quiet corners of their Philadelphia home, Peggy began to whisper a dangerous idea, that the British would appreciate him more than the Americans ever did. Washington, still blinded by his deep trust and affection for Arnold, gave him the ultimate responsibility. He handed Arnold the keys to West Point, the most strategic fortress in the entire American colonies. West Point sat on the Hudson River like a massive lock. If it fell, the British could split the colonies in two and end the war in a single afternoon. To George Washington, Arnold was the guardian of the revolution. To Arnold, West Point was merely a product he was ready to sell. The betrayal did not happen with a bang, but with a series of secret letters hidden in the linings of boots and coded in invisible ink. Arnold began a clandestine correspondence with the British spy master, Major John Andre. The deal was cold and transactional. For 20,000 British pounds and a high-ranking commission in the King's Army, Arnold would surrender West Point. To ensure the fort would fall without a fight, Arnold began a slow, deliberate sabotage of its defenses. He sent the strongest battalions away on useless tasks and allowed the gunpowder supplies to sit in damp cellars where they became useless. He even dismantled a massive iron chain that stretched across the river to block British ships, claiming it needed repairs. The fate of a new nation was resting on the whim of a man who had decided that his ego was worth more than his country's freedom. On a foggy night in September 1780, Arnold met Major Andre in a dark woods near the river to finalize the surrender. But fate has a strange way of intervening. Andre was captured by 3 American militiamen while trying to sneak back to New York. When they pulled off his boots, they found the handwritten maps of West Point in Benedict Arnold's own distinctive handwriting. When the news reached Arnold at his breakfast table, he didn't wait for a trial. He abandoned his wife and child and fled to a British ship, the Vulture. When Washington arrived at West Point hours later and saw the evidence of the treason, he reportedly wept, asking his aides, "Whom can we trust now?" Benedict Arnold spent the rest of his life in London, a man without a country. The British never fully trusted a man who had betrayed his own people. And the Americans never forgot the hero who became a monster. Today, in the Saratoga National Historical Park, there is a monument to a boot, Arnold's leg that was wounded in battle, but his name is nowhere on it. It stands as a chilling reminder that the greatest threat to a nation is never the enemy at the gates, but the traitor in the war room. Thanks for watching till the end.